This morning on The Young and the Restless, Adam confronts Victor, Kyle tries to make amends with Daniel, and Daniel and Lucy have a heart-to-heart discussion. Daniel is having breakfast with Heather and Lucy at Society as Lucy ignores them to check her phone while wearing headphones. Heather tells Daniel she's trying to be understanding of her situation, but that doesn't make her rude. Father Daniel wants nothing more than for his daughter to feel at ease. As Phyllis entered the room, she took one look at them and said, "Oh my goodness, what a surprise to see you all here together." Both Heather and Daniel twitch, but Lucy doesn't seem to notice. Lucy says, "Oh hi Phyllis," as it's her best educated guess. Heather concluded that staying together would be for the best for everyone involved. An angry Daniel interrupts. "Mom, nothing that Phyllis believes to have worked out actually did, as Daniel has informed her." When asked by her son, "What do you mean?" his mother was confused. Heather insists that Lucy and she must immediately depart. Summer hopes to meet Phyllis again soon and asks how long they will be in town. In Heather's words, Phyllis should let her husband Daniel decide. They plan on visiting Christine and Paul. Phyllis is infuriated. "You scheduled a meeting with Christine and not with me." Finally, Daniel speaks up, saying, "All right, enough said." Phyllis is left alone when everyone else leaves. Adam says with a broad grin, "You got what you wanted, Kyle." He has merely come to get some of his personal stuff. As Kyle puts it, Jibbet hands them out to former employees. Adam pokes fun at the situation and points out that the man has already quit. He hopes Kyle and Jack can patch things up, and warns him against joining forces with Victor. Before he leaves, he had a praise for Kyle. He respects Kyle for his dedication to his family and his willingness to risk anything to keep them safe. This, according to Kyle, will always be the case. Victor is at Crimson Lights where Jeremy Stark approaches him. The scumbag who stole his wife's jewelry is the same one he sees now. Stark claims he wasn't the one who stole it. Victor wants to know who was responsible. Jeremy is sure he has figured it out. "I was set up by Diane Jenkins and Jack Abbott." Not that it would surprise Victor that they would devise such a ridiculous plan. Stark believes that they share many similarities and could benefit from focusing on these similarities. Victor tells him that just because someone is the enemy of his enemy doesn't mean that he is now a friend. The Abbott mansion has a bed for each member of the family, but Jack can't sleep until he hears that Diane is content with her side. When Summer walks in, she jokes, "Diane, you've certainly made yourself at home." Jack cautions Summer about the tone she's using. "We don't value it." Summer says she's sorry she came across as nasty. Jack assumes that she dislikes Kyle. Summer can't believe he would do something so sneaky. Diane is positive he truly regrets what he did. Summer claims that is insufficient. "Even if Jack shares your frustration, I think it's safe to say that your actions can be overlooked." After this, he plans to go on. Yes, according to Summer, he probably feels awful about lying to them. She longs to forgive him but isn't quite ready to do so just yet. Summer visits Jabbat and warns Kyle he may not appreciate her message. Kyle wants to know for how much longer she will hold her grudge towards him. When he's there, Adam spots Kyle and asks if he wants to double-check his cargo. He says that he and Kyle are on good terms, and that Kyle did what he thought he had to. Summer is angry since he didn't have to lie to his loved ones. Adam would rather not be a spoiler, but believes he had good intentions. Adam exits and Kyle points out Adam has forgiven him. "Why can't you?" Summer informs Adam that she is not his wife. In retrospect, Kyle realizes he neglected to keep in mind their agreement to share whatever they had. Can we please let his go and start fighting? He regrets what he did and hopes to forget it. At Crimson Lights, Victor tells Jeremy he doesn't want to be a part of whatever scam he's planning and warns him not to use anyone in his family as a pawn or he'll come after him. Stark leaves the room. Jack and Diane enter Society and immediately spot Phyllis there. After some time apart, Diane tells her that she and Jack are back together and that she must now relocate to be with Jack. For Phyllis, this is a goldmine. When she did that to Diane, it was inexcusable. Now that she's doing it to everyone, it's absolutely fine. Jack speaks up for Diane. He urges them to let go of the past and embrace the future with mutual respect and compassion. Incredulous, Phyllis asks, "Are you kidding me?" Jack reassures Diane that she wasn't trying to manipulate the situation after she leaves. The debt has been paid in full. The expression on Diane's face is one of pure joy. While waiting for her ride, Phyllis is startled when she spots Jeremy Stark entering the eatery from the sidewalk. When Adam arrives at Crimson Lights, he greets his father with a heartfelt, "Hey, father." In order to relax, Victor requests that he take a seat. Adam is sending his best wishes. "My resignation from Jabbat is effective immediately." His campaign was a huge win. He departed voluntarily, but his interference was crucial. Adam smirks and informs Victor that despite his protests, he was right to trust his gut. Victor did not fit in that setting. When asked about the next step in the strategy, he inquires, "What's the plan? Phase 2? What's that?" Summer, at Jabbat, speculates that Kyle, if he hadn't been discovered, may come to regret his actions. Despite her hopes, she believes he would not. He made her feel like she was the reason he wasn't going along with her grandfather's plan and treated her like she was an impediment. Kyle claims he made a boo-boo. Summer has her doubts. Things have changed ever since she begged him to abandon Jack and Diane's plot against Jeremy Stark. The only thing he remembered was that she always managed to get in the way of his plans, so he learned to keep his poor choices to himself in the future. There's no way around it. Kyle has to admit it. "I'm at a loss for words, other than to stress again and again how terrible I feel about it." Summer understands how much he regrets starting fights with her and accepts his apologies. She understands his desire for things to improve, but she worries that ignoring the problem will only invite its return. Heather proposes leaving Lucy in the lobby of Daniel's suite while she retrieves her belongings. So that she can chat to her father for a little while, she borrows the teen's phone. Daniel appreciates Heather's help. Daniel, who is inside the suite, goes to check on his daughter. Seemingly, she is trying to put up barriers. He thinks it doesn't look like she's doing well, but she claims she is. The sage green she's wearing is her favorite hue, and he finds out why she's sporting a blue bracelet in order to wear it. That's his favorite shade, she claims. Phyllis waits outside of society as Stark approaches Diane and Jack, the latter of whom exclaims in surprise, "What the hell are you doing here?" Jeremy makes a joke about how much the eggs Florentine were missed. The absurd allegations against him have been dismissed, he says, and Diane will have to frame him again, but this time she'll have to work harder. His desire to join them is met with Jack's firm, "Just tell us what you want" prohibition. During Jack's routine about being a knight in shining armor, Jeremy informs Diane, "I was that for you once." Upon reflection, Diane realizes he was a con artist who used her. "That's rich coming from the person who stole from him to frame him," says Stark. "You want cash?" Jack inquires, "What is it?" Upon Jeremy's return, he congratulated Diane, saying, "Brava, Diane. There is no one like you. You fooled me twice now, which is unheard of." He then addresses Jack, warning him that underestimating her is a huge mistake. Due to his long-term plans in Genoa City, he expects to run across them again. While they're back outdoors, Jeremy turns to Phyllis and inquires about her perspective. She presses him to explain his actions and desires. To wit, "What are you doing here?" Stark sees that she's interested and reminds her that she's welcome to join in. "For some reason, I can identify with you." "That's great, because I know we share a passion for sports." As soon as Phyllis tells him he's crazy, she leaves. At Jabbat, Kyle promises Summer he would always remember that she is his best friend and the love of his life. A part of him knows he's been selfish, but he's done with the Adam phase. There is a way out of this, and he has faith that he can lead them there. Adam is confident that Victor will not leave any untied ends at Crimson Lights. Victor has told his son that, because he is always planning ahead, he should attend Newman University rather than Jabbat. For some reason, Adam thinks he was planning to undercut him at Jabbat so that he'd have to grovel back to you. The true power of Victor is now free to shine. I hope you find a position at Newman where you'll be able to put your skills to the test. As Adam hears this, he inquires, "What sort of challenge were you thinking of? Are you trying to say something specific?" In his bedroom, Daniel admits that blue is his favorite color and expresses his appreciation for Lucy's memory of this fact. Lucy says that seeing the bracelet brought back memories of her father since the hue reminded her of how he used to be and how much she missed him when they first went to Portugal. That's why she went out and got it, to remind herself that her dad did, in fact, love her. On his part, Daniel apologizes to Lucy for his absence. In Genoa City, he has a fresh start to prove himself worthy of her affection once more. Lucy wonders why he wasn't able to achieve it when living in Savannah. It's too complicated, and he doesn't know how to solve it. He ignored his issues since he was too preoccupied with himself. Lucy wonders if he has ever considered how his actions have affected her. Daniel concedes that he had a hard time putting himself before anyone else, and that he forgot how much his wife and Heather meant to him. The blue bracelet is presented to him by Lucy. When times are bad in the future, having it may help you remember that you have a daughter. Summer tells Kyle at Jabat that she finds it difficult to forgive since she can't forget. He should be patient and let her work things out. "I love you so much," Kyle declares to her. And Summer adores him too. They share a passionate kiss before she leaves with Kyle. At Crimson Lights, Victor despises Adam for his pessimistic outlook on life. This, according to Adam, is yet another Newman quirk. Victor thinks he's really smart and merely visited Jabat to annoy him. Adam insists it wasn't directed at him. Victor hopes that they can mend their relationship. "My kid you are. I'd like to have you assist me." He is always glad to have him around. On one condition, Adam will accept his wonderful offer: "Put me in charge of Victoria's department. If you can pull that off, you can have me for yourself." Diane exclaims to Jack at Society how incredible it is that Jeremy Stark has returned to Genoa City. For some reason, Diane thinks he returned, although she has no strong explanations. Jack promises they will eliminate him once more. His sole focus will be on removing him from their lives. This time it's final.